Well, hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria. I'm here to do a short video for the full moon in Taurus. I already did one, but I'm redoing because where I'm practicing, and maybe this will be helpful for you. First, let me just say this prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So where I'm trying to practice, where these times of chaos and transformation, where we feel perhaps, especially as women, maybe a sense of helplessness or loss of control, to really tune into what I can control. And that's what I'm going to invite you to do with this full moon in Taurus. So I'm redoing my video because I could do better. And I'm committing to do better for myself, for those I love, and for the world. How about you? Anyway, welcome to the Soul Nurture channel. Just practice a redo whenever you need. I like to say, turn your regrets into resets. And I'm just trying to do that more and more because it makes me feel like I am contributing something more where, we need to do that. So this full moon happening on the 15th of November at 1:29 p.m. Pacific time. Adjust wherever you live in the world. And by the way, do comment with where you live in the world. I always love to know that. This channel is dedicated to just meeting people where they are on their path of unfolding. We're all in this together. We're going through very intense transformational times, a lot of growing pains. We're growing through some big stuff, aren't we? So I just hope that I offer something that meets you right where you are, like a big warm hug, and reminds you that you're not alone, that we're all experiencing something individually and collectively. And we're living through historic times, especially in America. Where am I? I don't know. Feeling like I don't know. So yeah, I hope that you just feel encouraged, inspired to just keep going and keep growing by my videos. Okay, and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, thanks for being with me. Okay, so I feel like this full moon in Taurus, and I'm just going to speak from my heart because when I do notes, I get so off track. So I'm just going to talk to you. How's that feel? I'm just going to be with you. Can you just be with me? I feel like this full moon in Taurus is really that invitation to just be a little bit more centered in ourselves, more grounded, to cultivate our own inner stability and security as, there's chaos and uncertainty going on in the world. Uncertainty is the only certainty, right? So also, I like to say it is what it is, but now what are we going to do with it? How are we going to grow with what is? Like when life gives you a pile of shit, turn it into compost and grow something, grow yourself, grow your potential, especially those areas you feel limited and stuck. Okay, so I feel this full moon feels very much like what we're growing through and what we're heading towards, and the call to create inner stability, inner security, build your self-worth, create a life that is more aligned with your true nature by simplifying, by cutting out the excess, holding on to quality, what you value, what matters, what supports you, what helps you grow. And really also Taurus energy is really about savoring and the pleasure and the sensuality of life and what we're passionate about. But in quiet, simple, methodical, step by step, just take that next step. The tortoise and the hare, right? Where we are in unfolding times. It's not a race. It's divine timing for a lot of us. And we're just having to recalibrate all the time based on what's happening on the external, mirrored back to what's happening in our inner world. But this is where I say, for this full moon, your greatest resource and currency, which is all about Taurus, money, resources, and security, is the inner work you're doing, your inner transformation. Why? Because as you cultivate this inner world, that is what you want to mirror back and what you contribute from. As we do our inner work, that is our greatest contribution, because we can see what's going on in the world and we can it pushes back on us. Maybe it reopens wounds. Maybe it creates a sense of being helpless or hopeless, but let it be the pressure that opens you up to grow more potential. And so this full moon in Taurus at 24 degrees of Taurus, so you're going to look at your natal chart. You're going to look at the house that Taurus is at, rules, or I follow Placidus. If you do whole sign, easy peasy, find your Taurus house. If you follow Placidus, go, I'm talking about house systems, go to where 24 degrees of Taurus is, find that house, and then the opposite sign, Sun in Scorpio. That's what a full moon is, 180 degrees of an opposition, where we need to figure out what both are needing and figure a way to meet those needs. We're in Scorpio season, so there's still a need for going deeper with transformation. Scorpio is all about transformation, revealing what's been hidden or denied individually, and we're seeing it collectively, right? We are seeing, I believe, the collective shadows, and especially in America, where we're, and shadow, when it comes up, it's kind of like, wow, what is that? And kind of maybe feel some fear or even shame about it. But it's coming up to be seen, whatever is, especially with full moons, where the sun is reflecting light off of the moon. The moon doesn't emanate any light on its own, so the sun is reflecting off the moon. The moon is now reflecting back to us what needs to be revealed to be healed, illuminating where we are, what's not working, and illuminating a path forward where we again can, full moons are all about shedding, releasing, especially with Scorpio season, full moon in Taurus, shedding and releasing what isn't working, the excess material stuff that we have, the clutter, the just, the materialism, and simplifying in a way of getting back to the basics. What really matters to you? Our basic needs, and how do we meet those basic needs in a more self-reliant, self-sustainable, practical, dependable. I'm speaking in the Taurus archetype now, and being loyal and true to our soul and our soul needs and our body's needs and our family's needs. And by extension, rippling that out to the world. But it's, I always feel into Taurus feels like a tree to me. And I was thinking when I did the other video about, just image right now, and I'm going to invite you to do this. Just close your eyes and ask yourself, play along. Some of you may think this is silly, but what kind of tree are you right now in this very moment? Feel into your body, feel into your heart, feel into your emotions. Are you, what's the word, a sapling? You're just growing new potential. Are you like a little fruit tree? Or are you a mighty oak tree? But just notice, and there's no judgment. Whatever image comes, imagery helps us connect to our soul wisdom, that inner guidance system. And if you need to, now ask, what qualities do I need at this time? I feel like this Taurus full moon is inviting us to the qualities of Taurus. Again, very determined, persistent, resilient, just focused on the next step and the next step and the next step, slow and steady. Wins the race is the saying, but I say slow and steady contributes to our unfolding. We move our feet as we pray, or we also stand still for a little bit to listen for what's next, what's the guidance, and that is the patience of Taurus, right? So let's see, where was I on that one last thing? So come back to the qualities and what do I need? And now close your eyes and image that tree, like a mighty oak tree, deeply rooted in the earth, so strong. Or whatever your favorite tree is that feels, that symbolizes the qualities you want to cultivate, and just claim that. And this is what the work is. This is the healing work with this full moon, releasing that's what trees do too. They just shed at that time of shedding the old leaves, and then they take their energy, especially around this time of the year, the end of fall, moving towards winter, where all the energy goes inward down to source and feed the root system, right? Instead of growing outward, it's kind of an inward time. Well, this full moon in Taurus is just like, yeah, grow this potential inside of you, find ways to cultivate um, what you need, um, to be secure and stable during chaotic times, like the tree when the wind is blowing, right? The tree will bend, it's rooted in the earth, and it'll shed more, but it's holding right there, being held by the earth. So this is a time, Taurus is an earth sign, getting out in nature to calm your nervous system, to remind yourself that you are true nature, that when you're in nature, you're reminded of your true nature, who you truly are, beyond the human fear, beyond the human um, collective experience of chaos. And so there is an element, though, with this full moon of chaos, or that uncertainty word that we need to just really make peace with, because this is going to be going on for a while, especially in America, where the person who's been elected to the highest office is one of the most chaotic people I've ever witnessed from a human behavior, witnessing this person. Chaotic, never, shocking. And this is what may come with this full moon, because the full moon is conjunct Uranus and that's at 25 degrees of Taurus. So full moons can be emotional in general, and I'm speaking in general terms. You're the expert of you. You know how to navigate and soul track what goes on when the celestial sky is changing. That's important to check from lunation cycle to lunation cycle. What did I notice? What are you noticing? What are you feeling? I'm just intuitively giving you my sense of possibilities, okay? Because I'm all about possibilities and bringing awareness. Okay, so when we have awareness, then we know how to navigate what is, instead of being, caught off guard. So, yes, with Uranus there, the emotions may even be more extreme, or just can bring instability, a sense of instability. Also, there's no one way an aspect will happen. Could also indicate you'll have great insights, emotional intuition, instincts arising to guide you forward in new and innovative ways that you hadn't thought about. But really, the overall theme, I'm just speaking of themes right now instead of getting into details. That's why I want to redo my video. I was like, there's details people don't need to know. Just get to the heart of the matter. So this feeling of this full moon is, again, creating the stability, back to the basics, getting into care for your body. Taurus is also connected to the body, our money, resources, security, and our food sources. Really, really important. One of the things that you can do is create plans and action plans for yourself. Routines could be a really stabilizing, a way of containing and holding yourself when the world feels so chaotic. So creating a routine for your body, listening to your body more. How is your body doing? How are you caring for your body? What foods are you eating? This Taurian energy can be very much about comfort food, but inviting you just to listen to your body. What works and what doesn't work. I feel like that's the overarching theme of all of the astrology right now. What works and what doesn't work. And what can you do about what doesn't work in your world, in your life, with your body, with your thoughts, with your patterns? And what do you want to or need to root into? Put those deep roots, those spiritual roots of faith and trust, and maybe you need to grow some hope. I know that my hope got really demolished at the election results, but growing a new form. I was saying the old hope, magical thinking hope, needed to die so that a more practical, and this is very Taurian, a very practical hope, not a rose-colored glasses hope, but okay, I'm going to rise up with what I have, what I'm called to do, what God created me to be and offer. And I am not going to break or bend when other people don't align with that and they don't see the vision yet that I hold, right? This is more, I'm calling it practical hope. Keep growing that hope, even though others can't see it. And maybe it even feels like other people are against those values that you have, the things that matter so deeply to you. Keep growing them in ways that you can. So like I was saying, I'm going to create a plan of action for me for spring. I not much of a gardener because I've had allergies, but I've kind of cured my allergies with certain protocols. Um, so I can now get my hands in the earth. And that's what Earthy Taurus is about. This is, and it's April and May, and that time of the season when we're planting and we're going to grow some food. So I'm actually planting a garden for this spring, but I'm inviting us all to plant a garden to cultivate the soul garden inside of our inner world, to pull some of those weeds of fear and negativity and limitations. So what God put in your soul to grow has space to grow. And this is the work every day, pulling the weeds every day when we feel the pressure of the external world to go into our inner world and say, what wound is being revealed? What limitation am I present to? What, am I holding like an ancestral lineage blockage? Or, as a feminine, as a woman, maybe the historic feeling we have of being women that is limiting. What can you do individually to begin the breakthroughs? A message that came through very strong. I often say, prepare to receive your blessings always. But this is more about preparing to receive your breakthroughs. And it's about getting that strong foundation underneath you to take the lessons you've learned through the hard times and apply them, into your inner world, into your literal world too, but mostly symbolically on the inner. Shoring up, stabilizing, preparing to receive your breakthroughs. Now, that's this Uranus energy, can bring breakthroughs, breakdowns to breakthroughs. Remember, this is the key here too. Another theme of this time is we are rebirthing. We're having times of like, oh, everything's great, and then another contraction, another push, another unexpected something, and we're birthing in something new together. And this is, I always say, we're souls having a human experience. In our human experience, it feels scary to feel all the shaking and quaking and not know what's going to happen. We feel the fear in the human experience. We feel concerned about the uncertainty. We crave and desire and need those basic needs met, right? So we don't know. But from a spiritual lens, on a spiritual journey unfolding lens, we know that chaos precedes big changes. And from a faith spiritual place, we trust that the one that created us is unfolding something that maybe we don't understand. I know that's hard sometimes. It's really hard to come back to that place of faith. But so overall, I'm just inviting you to, whatever comes, utilize the energy of determination. Hold the vision of the world you want to grow into, who you need to grow, what you need to grow within yourself to be the person who will be able to be in that world to hold up that vision for others. And that's your daily tending and mending to your inner world, right? And then in the human experience, create routines that help you feel no matter what, you're okay. No matter what, you've got this. Whether that's budgeting, whether that is stocking up and getting your food system in order, or if it's practicing affirmations every morning, doing a commitment to wake up and meditate and pray, to ground yourself in the morning, whatever that looks like for you, to go out and put your feet on the earth whenever you can, to get outside. Okay, it sounds silly, but go hug a tree and say, what is the tree teaching me? How can I be more like the tree, right? How can I be stable and steady, calm through the storm, so that you have something to contribute and so that you continue to grow in the direction of your possibilities? I just want to look at one last note. yeah, it's about prioritizing your quality over quantity, savoring the simple pleasures, savoring structure and self-care that looks like, well, I don't know what tomorrow brings, but I know what I'm bringing, and I'm bringing support and structure for myself, for my family, and slow and steady, slow and steady during this time of unfolding. Whatever concerns you, let that become your prayer. Ask what's the opposite of that. If you're fearing, the instability, the opposite of that is stability. What does that look like for you? In what ways can you cultivate that, create that, embody that? That's really key right there. Embody all that you need to be what you want in the world. Whether you're just visualizing it, you're feeling it, you're anchoring in it, you're rooting in it, then as you walk through the world, you drop seeds for others to pick up. Like, oh, there's something about that person that they seem very calm, steady, grounded, real. And I'm not saying don't be authentic with your emotions. We need our emotions. Emotions are communications. They guide us. I feel like with all this anger that's rising up, especially in women, I had this phrase that came to me. I was talking to a friend that was like, I feel like we are all in the fire of transformation, and the anger is like we're what was the word? Oh, come back. Swords, our spiritual warrior swords are being forged through this fire of transformation in order to open new paths forward where our voices are respected, where our bodies are respected, where our choices are respected. And yet the image I had was the handle is hot, right? And the hotness of the handle is where we are still hot in our emotions that need to be healed. Maybe some areas of what's happening in the world is opening up areas where we have more healing to do on our inner world, so we can rise strong with that sword towards rising up towards greater yet to be. But in the meantime, we're going to slow it down. We're going to be like the tortoise, and we're going to just have the comfort of our own shell, our own security, our own inner determination that keeps us stepping forward when we need to, and pausing and resting and restoring and practicing patience and trust. And that's the feeling of this full moon. Cry if you need to. Full moons notoriously bring our emotions up. What happens when we cry? We have a good cry. We clear out what's in the way. It's the quote, tears are for the body. What soap is, no. Tears are for the soul. What soap is for the body. That's it. Cleansing. We're cleansing, we're clearing, we're mulching, we're composting. We're going to grow new potential. But right now, just be with what you need. And may you have what you need. And may your fears be quieted in your faith. And to vision for the things you fear going away, or what may be happening in the world, to hold the vision for something higher, even though it may be a while before we get there. Do not give up hope. Do not give up your vision. And the last thing is to not give up your joy. Joy is what buoys us up to continue through crazy times and whatever is surfacing. That it just don't let anyone take your joy. And this is also connected to self-worth. This is the last thing I'm going to say. Self-worth is your currency. No one can take that from you. What's that old Eleanor Roosevelt quote? No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Don't consent to being, even when you hear these just horrific things being said about people and women, whatever lands in your world, and in your, however it affects you, don't take it in. Ground, and like the tree, like I would say also just keep a barrier around you. Boundaries, boundary of protection to protect your inner security and mostly your inner self-worth. So it's important to grow self-worth at this time. As you grow your self-worth, You teach other people to see you in that worth, to hopefully meet you in your worth. So value yourself, grow your worth, and show up as that strong and mighty tree where nobody can break your spirit. Okay. All right. That's all I have at this time. Thank you for being with me. I'm honored by everyone who takes some time to watch a video with me. Let me know where you're viewing from. And so much love to my regular viewers. And you know who you are. I love every comment and every email I get from you. So we got this. We're going to be okay. We're just going to have to grow new ways, grow new potential, and grow that currency that no one can take from us. That is our self-worth, that we reclaim from our inner soul work or transformational work. All right, peace be with you. You're not alone. I deeply care for all of you. Now it's time to care for ourselves and grow strong. Okay, take good care.